What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Ask Mevo Anything. I'm Joe Capehart. I'm the lead technical specialist here at Mevo, and I'm excited to have you back. This is the first Ask Mevo Anything I've done in a very long time. Please let me know if there's anything wrong with my setup, because I've kind of rushed this one a little bit, just because honestly I wasn't sure how I was going to use this. Well, I knew how, but I just moved into a new house recently. I had to find all the cables, make sure everything was good to go to use my mixer. So then while I was at it, I also threw in some music. So if you are having any audio issues, please let me know if my audio is at all messed up. As I mentioned, I'm Joe from Mevo. If you don't know me, ask some questions, get to know me. If you have any questions about Mevo, of course, throw those in the chat. I am monitoring those live today. We are going to talk about a lot of really cool stuff. I'm going to answer all of your questions, hopefully. And I don't know. Let's see what we talk about today, because lately, dog fur on my lens here. But lately, we've had tons of questions. Our shows have been completely dominated by questions. Jim says, is it Thursday? Is this the Mevo Metaverse? It is not Thursday. It is Ask Mevo Anything. I did use the Mevo Live graphic because I don't think we have an Ask Mevo Anything Logi C graphic yet, but I will absolutely, I'll modify this one. I didn't realize it, to be honest, until the countdown had already started, but at that point I was committed. There was no turning back. Laser Les on Twitch says, howdy from Oregon. Hello, Laser. Jim says, looking epic. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. I actually volunteered. It was actually today. It was Joseph's time to do the show. So I decided I want to do it because I got some new Lytra lights. Lytra's doing great stuff. They have great lights over there. So I'm using some Lytra Pros. You got to check it out. If you think I look great, go check out some Lytra lights. Also part of Logitech. David says, hello, Joe. Efren says, how to transmit to the internet. So I'm not using Ethernet right now. I'm using Wi-Fi, but I am using the Mevo 2.0 app, or 2.7 or whatever version it is at this point. I don't even know. Let's see. Let's go to about. I'm specifically using 2.8, I think. Is that even, I think it's public. I think that's the latest public version. Let me just double check for you. I don't want to share any false information. Let's see here. Software release. It's gotta be, oh, here it is, Mevo release. So we're on 2.7.1. I'm not sure if that's up to date, but I'm using the latest version that I've got available to me, I believe. But yes, I'm using Countdown. I'm not using Multicam. I'm using a single Mevo 2.0 app. For my microphone, I'm using this blue baby bottle. I'm using an XLR microphone. This is XLR. Going into an XLR mixer, it's the Xenix 802. I'm outputting that both to my headphones and to my Mevo Start here. And the Mevo Start's running via Wi-Fi. It is not on Ethernet today. And I'm broadcasting from an Android phone. If anybody has seen me in the Mevo groups, I'm an Android user, avid Android user. So I only use Android. I do have Apple devices, of course, to of course, test Apple stuff too. But if anyone ever asks me, like, what's the preference? Will, giant Apple fan. Me, I'm an Android fan. So we, of course, it's really good to have both on both sides of the spectrum. But if you're looking for someone to tell you which one's better, for the Mevo app, we could both equally set up the stream successfully about 100% of the time. I would say 99.9% of the time, we would both have absolutely zero problems setting up a Mevo on either Android or iOS. Leo says, hi from Fort Wayne. Hello, Leo. Welcome. Efren says, no Wi-Fi, only Ethernet. So you can use Ethernet. You can use a power Ethernet adapter. I've got one right here. I'm just not using it because I haven't set up my PoE switch, and it really doesn't benefit anyone. I mean, it does benefit you if you just want to have Ethernet, but I would like to use my PoE switch. You can, of course, use this without PoE-enabled modem or router. You just have to also introduce power as well at the bottom of this. Let me get rid of my lower third here so we can make sure we're not blocking anything off. So you can introduce power here, of course, and you can accomplish the same thing using Ethernet. Make sure you put it in the Mevo hotspot mode, and then it'll automatically detect Ethernet and switch over. Leo says, I just got a FitBit. I stream from one Mevo Start and the 2.7 app on my iPhone. Should I remove the FitBit before streaming? I don't know. Is it causing issues? I've not. What? Are you having issues with it? Steven says, have an original Mevo secondhand. It's locked and there's no code to unlock it. No one can help me. Hey, Steven, open up a ticket, help.mevo.com. We'd be happy to help you. And for anybody who wants to know, if your Mevo is locked and you have a password on it and you don't remember the password, all you have to do is do a factory reset. If you don't know how to do that, open a ticket, or you go to help.mevo.com and type in factory reset. Laser says, any date for the coming soon items? Well, Laser, you should know that's coming soon. No dates. I don't have any dates, unfortunately. I wish I did, but we don't typically do that because things get pushed out. If we find a bug, we're not going to meet a date, and we don't want to disappoint anyone. So once we tell you when it's going to come out, I promise it's because it's ready. And typically we don't give dates anyways, because once we know it's ready, it gets released almost immediately. We never typically hold on to things. We don't typically hold on to software updates or anything like that for a specific date. Unlike on hardware or something, we do have announcement dates, right? If it's a software update, we're going to release it. There's no real benefit of us holding on. John Roberts says, hi from South Africa. Hi, John. Nice to see you again. Taylor says, I'm new to Mevo. Just bought the 3 multicam. Can I buy 3 more and have 6 of them on the iPad? As easily as syncing the initial 3 to iPad. Unfortunately not, Taylor. At this time, the Mevo Multicam app is limited to 3 Mevo cameras, whether it's, any generation of Mevo camera. You can only have 3 at this time. Whether that may change in the future, I'm not sure. But at this time, it's limited to 3. However, you can use 6. You can only do that, though, if you're using something like Streamlabs OBS and going NDI. That's the only way you could use more than 3 at a time. DJ says, how is it, beautiful Mevo fan? Hello, DJ Fuzz. Welcome back. Jim says, so I use the Mevo Outdoors and was wondering if you guys have any idea of adding ND filters. I am unsure what do you mean by ND filters? I got to Google this. ND filters. What is it? Oh, like Polaroid or polar filters? No, not NDI. Of course, my Google's going to correct me there. Let's do a quick search here. What's an ND filter? An ND filter allows photographers to shoot their wide aperture lenses in bright light without overexposing. Interesting. No, so we don't. I mean, if you're talking about like digitally doing this, I don't even know what the technology is behind this to be able to tell you. This allows shallow depth of field, selective focus effects while using or underlighting conditions that exceed the shutter speed capabilities of the camera. Oh, so it's neutral density. Oh, sorry. If you would have said that, it would have been a little different. I still I would not have known what the filter was. I'm not familiar, but I'm not sure how that technology even works to be able to tell you if that's even something we could implement. If it's a hardware related change, that's not going to be possible. Steven says, thanks. You're very welcome. Jonathan says, do you have a specific release date like Tuesdays only. So we did aim for I believe Wednesdays at one point, so we could have it ready for Mevo Live, so we could talk about it on Thursdays. So I think we try to release them on Wednesdays, but I'm not sure if that's still consistent or not. That's what we were trying to do at the beginning of the year. We've not kind of kept on that schedule, just because the releases lately have been significantly larger and more complex than, you know, a basic edition. David says, did a 2-hour plus live stream on Saturday. On Sunday, after one 27-minute stream, the second one started and only went 5 minutes and 8 seconds. Both stream and recording stopped. Can you explain? We have the Multicam app, 3 starts, and a brand new 12.9 M1 iPad. Wi-Fi's 80 down, 20 up, consistently. Only one Sunday out of the last 4 got a full service. Hey, David, open to ticket. Unfortunately, I can't really do, troubleshooting on a live show. It's just not really feasible. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of information we're going to need to do that. Gordon says, hello, Joe Mevo and Mevo users. Hello, Gordon. I should change my lower third to say Joe Mevo, huh? That's what we should do. Since I do have you, and we are, we're got to keep those questions coming, so keep those going. If you were unaware and you do like our shows, we do go live twice a week on Tuesdays and on Thursdays. We have Ask Mevo Anything, which is today, which is significantly similar to our Thursday shows. The only difference really is that on Tuesday shows, we use a Mevo app, whether it's Mevo 2.0 or Multicam. On Thursday shows, we typically use something like Streamlabs OBS. We go NDI. We have an remote guest, whether it's typically just one of us. We will have other guests in the future, hopefully. As it stands right now, we have every intention on potentially even introducing some people new to the team. Hopefully starting in December, I will introduce somebody on our Christmas show or our holiday show, and get to meet some cool people. And let's see here. What else we got? We also have our referral program. And I keep seeing this in the Facebook groups. People asking, do we have a referral program? And everyone seems to be so shocked that we do. We do mention this 2 or 3 times per show. So if you are just now hearing about this and you are a return viewer, please make sure everyone else knows that we do this. And let them know to come check out the show, because then they won't miss cool things like that. It's very important. Very, very important. And then this is typically our end of the show slide, but I also want to mention it here because we do get troubleshooting questions like David's, and then like the one about the password on the Mevo. All of this stuff is very well documented on help.mevo.com. You can find all the troubleshooting steps, requirements for networks, tons of different things. So if you do see things that you need help with and you can't seem to catch us live on a show for whatever reason, you can go to help.mevo.com and do a quick search. And also make sure you follow us if you're wondering about upcoming releases and things like that. Make sure you're following, subscribing, all of those things at Mevo Camera on all of our social channels. You'll find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all of those. So if you do need help, please be sure to check it out and go to help.mevo.com and you can find that stuff there. All right, wonderful. All right, let's see here. What else we got here? I really struggle with overexposure when shooting outdoors in shade. So Jim Reyes' questions, good one, would be great to be able to attach filters. I don't see a way that we could do that because the Mevo Start camera was never designed to have physical hardware filters or lenses and things attached to it. So I don't see how that would be a possibility specifically for the Mevo Start, but I do see how it could be beneficial. Oh. I meant to bring a coffee to these shows. Every time I turn off all the lights and I turn on all my other lights, I always get so sleepy. Anybody else do that? Every time you get prepared for something, then you get tired because you got exhausted from just preparing for something. Laserless says, I had my stream drop on Facebook after the first 3 minutes and then started and it went for an hour fine. What things should I check? There's a lot of things to check. And let me see. I think David said something else. I just meant in general issue. Not asking for troubleshooting. Thanks. Sure. So, there's a lot of things that could be going wrong with disconnects. So let's talk about it. How are you going live? Where are you going live? So you said you're using multicam, and Laser said they didn't specify. So if you're using the Mevo camera, if you're using the Mevo camera app or using multicam app, and you're using Mevo Hotspot, right? All right, so you guys are both using multicam. Or I gotta go back. Okay, so yeah, you're both using multicam. So you're both using multicam. So if you're using, you have to understand when you're using multicam and you're using it on a mobile device, that mobile device is your encoder. So a lot of different things that you need to take in consideration is that all three of those cameras, or however many cameras you're running on multicam, are sending their feeds to the mobile device and then broadcasting out. So for example, if you're using Ethernet on 3 Mevo starts and your phone is on Wi-Fi, well, your bottleneck's going to be that phone or tablet or whatever it is using that's doing the encoding. That's what's doing the broadcasting, not the Mevo. So if you really want to have the benefit of the absolute greatest fallback or stability, run Ethernet to your mobile device because that's what's doing the broadcasting. Of course, you're still benefiting from having your Mevo starts because like once you introduce Ethernet into your phone and then you have your Mevo starts on Wi-Fi, now your Mevo starts are your bottleneck. So you have to understand that your mobile device is what's doing the broadcasting. If you walk away too far from your cameras and your mobile device can't keep connection to your cameras, then you're going to lose cameras. If you walk too far, like if your Mevo are close to your network, but then you walk too far from your phone, it's not close to the network anymore, then your phone's going to disconnect and you're going to have issues. If you minimize your mobile app or your multicam app and you're using iOS, you're going to kill your streams. There's a lot of different variables that go into place. Now, let's say everything's perfect, right? You didn't close the app. Your app's still running. You're connected to Wi-Fi and you're very close to it. You're running Ethernet and your network's dedicated. What other things could cause issues? Other things that could cause issues. Copyrighted music. You could be disconnected for things like that. You could be disconnected because maybe the platform's having issues. For example, if you're talking about Facebook's been having tons of issues over the last month. They've had many outages, significant sized outages over the last month where people have been having issues. So make sure not only checking your stuff, make sure you're seeing if your platform's having issues. If you're disconnecting after 3 minutes and you're playing music, it's probably the music. If you are being disconnected after a few minutes and you don't know why, maybe you should check out and see if the platform's having issues. You can easily Google that. You can go to Twitter and search in Facebook or something. That's what I typically do if I want to confirm an outage because everyone's so quick to go on Twitter and complain about that stuff. So if I need to find something and latest information of who's having the issue, I can always go to Twitter and usually figure that out or go to Google. Lizette says, should I use my laptop for the app and plug directly into the Ethernet? So the Mevo 2.0 and Multicam app cannot run on a laptop. If you want to run Streamlabs OBS and connect your Mevo via webcam mode, or you want to use NDI, you can do that and you can plug your laptop in via Ethernet. But you can't run the Mevo apps on a laptop, but you can send a Mevo feed to a laptop, if that makes sense. Ryan says, hello, Joe. I would love to see the ability to save crop zoom. Yeah, multicam app for the, I know, buddy. I know. We would too. I'm not sure what the status of that is. There's a few different things I wanted to ask about today to see if I could get updated statuses on. Because that and also the countdown is still missing, and so is PDFs. And I would like to see those added rather sooner than later. Although a lot of people don't really seem to have an issue with it. I know specifically that we use countdowns for our shows, and Will and Joseph, they're very adamant, or they enjoy using multicam. I don't mind using multicam. It just takes more time to set up, which takes more time out of the day to get ready for the shows. So that's the only my thing for it. But it's easy. I just don't have anything worth showing. If I had 2 other people here, cool. I just don't have a reason to show 3 different angles for me specifically. Laser says, I have a Samsung S6 tab. Can I do Ethernet on it? You should be able to do Ethernet on iOS or Android devices. Simply plug it in. I don't think it's device specific. I've got a Galaxy S21 Ultra. Oh, it's my phone. And that I can plug in via Ethernet and it automatically switches to Ethernet. I've got an iPad over there. I can plug it in. I got a Note 8 I can plug in using an Ethernet adapter. Just check to see what your device has. Typically, these newer devices are going to be USB-C. Go to Amazon, type in USB-C Ethernet adapter, and you should be able to find one. If it's an Apple device, you can just type in Lightning Ethernet adapter, and you should be able to find one. It shouldn't be much issue. Is there a plan to allow multicam to run in the background like the Mevo 2.0 app? No. So multicam can run in the background if you're running Android. If you're running iOS, you can't. And that's the same for Mevo 2.0. You close Mevo 2.0 or you minimize Mevo 2.0 on iOS and you're using Mevo Hotspot, it will not allow you to do that. It will stop. Now you're making me question myself. But I'm almost positive. It's an iOS limitation. This is not a Mevo limitation. You can do it in Android devices without a problem. Jonathan Group says, do you know if there's a website to see who has outages? Yeah, so there's a website called Down Detector? It's a pretty popular one that we use as well. So it's not going to tell you what's down specifically, but if you go and check it out, it shows like little, I guess this is where a multicam solution would kind of come into play. I could show you my screen. But so for example, it shows all the latest or big name companies. So Xfinity's here, Instagram, Facebook, DeviantArt, Amazon, Facebook Messenger, Verizon, Spectrum, AT&T, T-Mobile, DoorDash, Battle.net, Blizzard, Reddit, Hulu, Outlook, Gmail, Google, YouTube. So it's got all the servers, and you can detect it pretty regularly. So you can check it out on there. It's downdetector.com. We're not affiliated with them at all, so I can't really speak for any ads or anything you may see. But if you just click on the platform that you want and you scroll down, you can see comments from users who are reporting outages. And you can also see if there's a spike in outages as well. And then there's actually, it looks like there's even a cool thing. It says like most reported problems, website, app, and login. So if you do see a spike in issues on a platform, then you can kind of bank on it being related. David says, when disconnect from music, shouldn't it still record? No. If you get disconnected from streaming, your recording's interrupted. Ryan says, just as it's, at least that's for the Mevo 2.0 app. I'm not, I'll have to confirm with, I'm going to confer with Will real quick. If stream is interrupted, recording is as well for Multicam, question mark? I'm gonna ask Will because he's the multicam guy. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna wait for him to get back to me. I'm curious. Let's see here. Grind says, as long as it's still on the list, absolutely still on the list. Jonathan says, if you Ethernet an iPad to the Wi-Fi router, will you be able to discover the Mevos? As long as there's no network security settings that's like AP isolation, you should be fine. Will's typing. Cool. Jay says, greetings. Hello. Welcome to the show. Welcome. Laser says, is there a plan to be able to organize slides better, or do you do with the... or do what you do with the Mevo 2.0 app? Okay, so Will says he says the recording to the device will fail. So the main output will fail, but the SD card ISO recordings should still continue. We'll have to check and confirm that, but I think that still answers your question. The recording will fail. Let's see here. Oh, Laser, back to your question. Is there a plan to organize slides better? Yeah, I mean, we've discussed many ways to do that. I'm not sure how high it is on our feature list of how like prioritized it is, but I do know that, I mean, you can't reorganize slides. You can't reorganize slides in Mevo 2.0. I guess I'm kind of curious what you say, like what you did in the Mevo 2.0. I don't think you can reorganize slides. You can upload a slideshow and just press next, but you can't like reorganize it. DJ says, iOS does not stop Mevo 2.0 if you minimize it, actually. Only Multicam does that. It does if you use Mevo 2.0 in hotspot mode. It should 100% do that. It's an iOS limitation. Jack says, what is the best adapter to charge Mevo and use Ethernet at the same time? That would be the Mevo PoE adapter. That is on Mevo.com. Jack says, what type of microphone is that? This is a Blue Baby Bottle from Blue. It's an XLR microphone. If you don't have an XLR mixer or something like that, you can also use something like a Blue Yeti or a Snowball or any of those Blue USB microphones. They can play right into the Mevo Start. Jack says, can I plug my piano into my mixer? So it looks like you already have one. It has a 1/4-inch output. What slot should I plug into my mixer? Oh yeah, you can I mean, I don't know about your piano. I'm sure, yeah. But as far as your Mevo is, you can output 1/4 20 out and then just get another cable that's 1/4 20 to 3.5 millimeter TRS, and you should be good to go. That's what I'm using here. I'm using a quarter 20. That is a 3.5. John says, I still think it's not smart for recording to stop. Heard it before for reasons that don't make sense. It's great feedback. DJ says, do you absolutely need Bluetooth for discovery, or can it happen over Wi-Fi? It can happen over Wi-Fi. So you actually notice if Wi-Fi has security issues in place. So check this out. Good way to troubleshoot. If you have Bluetooth, or if you have Bluetooth enabled and your network has security in place that doesn't allow them to communicate, Bluetooth will still discover the device. And when you try to press connect, it'll fail. So if you turn off Bluetooth and it disappears, that also means the discovery over Wi-Fi can't happen and it can't communicate. As long as the network's successfully connected, you can have Bluetooth off and 100% still connect to your Mevo. John says, recording stops when stream stops in case you forget to stop it yourself. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. David says, thank you for seeking an answer. Got it. Thanks, Will. Yes. Thank you, Will. I don't know if he's watching, hopefully. If not, I'll let you know. Let's see. David says, thank you from the show. I'm sure he's here, but I'll let him know anyways. Carl says, enjoy your show. Thanks, Carl. Appreciate you. Thanks for swinging by. Charlie says, Mevo Facebook group had a thread concerning no support for physical repair of cameras that have warranty other than mounts. Has anyone considered square trade insurance? This is an open question. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we're not at all familiar, or we don't accept any kind of like square. I don't know what Square Trade does, but we're not affiliated with them at all. Jonathan says, I can confirm the recording fails to main device if you lose live connection. Thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate that. Laser says, right now I use an Android with Mevo, but also have ISO for backup. Why does Mevo stop recording or stop streaming if you open another app? Any way to fix this? Wait, what? I use Android with Mevo, but also have ISO for backup. Why does Mevo stop streaming if you open another app? It should not. Mevo should never, or for Android, you can absolutely use the Mevo app in the background. Oh, iOS. No, you can't. There's nothing. That's an iOS limitation. If you minimize Mevo on iOS, it will fail. The stream will end. So there's an iOS limitation. You can 100% do it on Android. Lizette says, when I went live, it did not show on my Facebook page. A couple things I would immediately check. Are you logged into the correct Facebook page? What are your security settings? Was there your privacy settings? Were there any errors? A huge way to check, and then this is actually way more common than people might think. You're logged into the wrong Facebook account. If you're using like an iOS device and you're logged in on Facebook.com on Safari, it's going to use that account. So check your Facebook profile pictures. Odds are you're probably just on the wrong Facebook account. What else we got here? Whoa. Interesting. Huh. Sorry, we're having a side conversation here where we're talking about oversaturation between the three platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Joseph and Will are having a conversation about how my overlay looks on the three platforms. That's super interesting. Awesome. So I do want to bring up, we do these giveaways. If you were unaware, we do giveaways based on participation during our live shows. So the top 10 participants from each show are pulled and they're sent into, they're pulled from Restream because Restream tracks the top 10 participants. And now that I think about it, I don't think anybody shared this stream to any of the other groups, did they? Let's take a look, see. Let's switch accounts here. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I get these shared to the rest of the groups. Just seen it was like a pretty low number, only like 20-ish viewers. We typically reach up past 30. So I want to go ahead and make sure these are getting shared to the other groups because I believe the marketing person who did that is no longer doing it. So I want to make sure that's getting done. Let's go ahead and share to groups. Share to group. Wonderful. Let's get these to all of our groups. I don't want anybody to miss out on these. So we do these giveaways, like I was saying. And essentially we take the top 10 participants from each show. And every 14 days or every 2 weeks, we do a giveaway, which means basically somebody can win a Mevo Start. Last week we had 3 winners, but that was because we were also doing a Halloween giveaway. But with that, we do have other really cool things. Mevo fan group, there we go. It's another good group if you're not sure. Yeah, well, you're absolutely right, Laser. This is the 20 best viewers. I absolutely agree. I just want to make sure it's not being. I want to make sure it's not being lost. Now, So let's see here. We got the Mevo customer group, Mevo multicam group. Now we're missing the webcam group. Where's that at? Boom. Got it. Shared. Post. Done. Looks like Joseph's in here. Awesome. Okay. So you can win a free Mevo start. Now, if you were unaware, we did talk about on Thursday last week. It was Joseph and I, the Council of Josephs or Council of Joes. And we brought up that we are going to be doing a giveaway on December 16th. It's going to be a holiday show. It's going to be like nothing Q&A related. I mean, we'll probably still answer some questions, but come check it out. Come hang out with us. The following week, we will not be doing any shows because it's a holiday week. So many people are going to be traveling. So many people are going to be busy with their families. I highly doubt any of you are trying to come on and hang out with us. So on December 16th, we're going to do a giant holiday show. We're going to do some, LawGC bingo. We're going to do some questionnaires and some polls and stuff. And you're going to have multiple opportunities during that show specifically to win Mevo Start products or Mevo products, Logi products. I believe we might actually get some other products from the LogiC teams. So that includes like Streamlabs and Blue and all of them. So we might be able to get some more stuff from them, but we're going to have a really cool show and hopefully you guys will all tune in for that. Play some games with us, hang out with us, drink some eggnog and just hang out. Ugly Christmas sweater. Actually, that is not a terrible idea. We could absolutely do that, but that would mean that kind of like the holiday or the Halloween one. That's a good idea. That's a good one. I'm going to make sure we write that down. Yes, December 16th, we are going to do a holiday show. We should do an ugly sweater contest because that would be awesome. That would be so cool. And we should do it too. We should also do it because that would be fun. I'm going to write that down. Sorry. I'm always thinking of a ugly sweater contest. Okay. I'm going to write that down. Wonderful. Let's see here. Yes, no, absolutely. That's kind of what we did for Lasers on Twitter, if you guys aren't seeing his conversations, but LaserLess on Twitter said we should do ugly Christmas sweater contest on December 16th, along with our LogiC bingo and other cool things where we're going to hang out and just kind of hang out before the holiday season. Everybody's about to get real busy, so we just want to hang out. So that's a great idea. And yes, we did that for Halloween. We did a Halloween costume contest on the Mevo customer group, and that's how we had 2 winners win cameras last week. Leo says, do I need to subscribe to a service to stream to a private group? When I press the Facebook icon, it only goes to a personal or business page. All right, Leo. So one thing you need to take in consideration when you're using groups is you have to add the Mevo camera app if you're using Mevo 2.0, or you need to add the Multicam Mevo Multicam app into the group. If you're unsure how to do this, go to help.mevo.com and type in stream to Facebook group, and you should see 2 different articles. I think it should be both Multicam and Mevo 2.0 articles on how to do this and how to add those. David says, pardon the lack of knowledge about tech. No problem, David. We're all here to learn. That's what these shows are about. If I'm not teaching anybody anything, then these shows are pointless. David says, what is the item behind you? Which item would that be? Which one? This thing? If it's the glowy thing here, the moving light changing item. That's a little diffuser. So I usually put like spearmint or peppermint or lemon, and it actually really makes it really nice. Like if you heard the music at the beginning of the show, it was some lo-fi music that I listen to when I do some computer programming. It's a hobby of mine, and I also always have that on, and it kind of shoots out. Oh, is that? Oh, this one over here? Other side. Okay, sorry. So that's a diffuser anyways. It makes the place smell good, makes me relax. That is my computer. So the computer I'm using right now to stream is mounted to the wall here. I mean, I guess I could technically take you all. I'll tell you what. Next time I do a Tuesday show, I'll do the Multicam app so I can mount a camera there and you guys can all see it a lot better. Because this is not going to look very good, but it's about as good as somebody can do. There we go. A for effort. Yeah, so that's my computer. And that's what I'm streaming on right now. The lights are fans, the little spinning lights. Those are fans on a radiator that's cooling my processor. And then the ones to the left of that that is the RAM. And then you should see a little circle to the far left. That's the processor cooler. And then below that is my NVIDIA 1080 graphics card. Joseph says, don't do it. I'm not going to do it. Let's see here. The 200 character count limit on YouTube is tough sometimes. Yeah. No, I agree. Huh. Let's see here. Laser says, I missed it. I would have done a great Halloween costume. Yeah. No, it was really cool. It was actually, I was kind of disappointed in the turnout. Hopefully we can get a little better one for Christmas in the holiday season. So fingers crossed. Let's see. Nick says, I have been having difficulty with stream continuity. If you could provide some more information, I'd be happy to talk about it. I'm not sure if you mean by like staying connected or what you might be discussing here. I can't really. Just keep on just toss in there. Well, we are at about 40 minutes, so we are going to talk about the shows once again, because that's kind of like what we're doing. So I did mention we do have a really cool show on December 16th. That is going to be the holiday show where you're going to hang out with myself, Will, and we might introduce one more member of our team who will be primarily taking over support for Mevo. So really want to make sure you all get to see and meet that individual. And you can see here Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do a show, Ask Mevo Anything and Mevo Live. It's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we do it on Twitch, YouTube, and on Facebook. If you want to know about any information about any of our shows or any of our promos that we're doing, make sure you like, follow, subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I think that's all of them. I don't know. So make sure you check those shows out. It's very important. Obviously, you're here. So also, if you're a Mevo user and you already find yourself recommending people to use Mevo, make sure you go sign up on mevo.com/referral. It's the referral program where you can earn yourself 5% and save whoever you refer 5% on their purchase at Mevo.com. This is US only, and I think I actually overlooked a question earlier. I kind of glanced at it and forgot about it. Will that ever go outside of the United States? I am unsure. I think the reason that it's not is because the way that payouts work. I think, excuse me. The way that payouts work, I think it's a tax nightmare to do it. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all, honestly. But maybe. I think it'd be cool if it did, because I know we have global users everywhere. Let's see. So Nick says he has 3 cams and it's very choppy. So Nick, very important to know is that what is your network speed? What's your bandwidth look like? Are you running via Wi-Fi? Are you sharing that network with anybody? Is there any other devices in the area? What kind of mobile device are you using? Is your mobile device strong enough? Remember, your mobile device is the one that's actually encoding the feed for multicam, not your Mevo cameras. So if you're seeing weird things going on once it's broadcasted, then that might be your mobile device. So lots of really cool stuff to check up on. Lots of variables to kind of be informed about how the Mevo multicam function works. If you do have further issues and you need more guidance, go to help.mevo.com, open up a support ticket, and somebody from my team would be happy to help out. Or myself. I don't know. I still work tickets. Laser says, I'm an Android fan. Why do you choose it over iOS? I was an iOS fan so I had the first 3. No, I had the first 6 Apple iPhones. And I got tired of running out of space is one thing. I got tired of not being able to do other things, like I think tethering for a minute was like not possible. There was a lot of things that were going on, but Android really got me because I could simply slip in a micro SD card and have extended space. Ironically enough, I found out my latest phone, I can't do that, and I'm not happy about it. And that's an Android S21 Ultra. And had I known that it didn't have a 3.5 millimeter input or output or a port at all, and if I would have known that it didn't have a micro SD card, I got so used to them just having them, I didn't even bother to think and check. But that was the thing, is flexibility that Android offers me. I like it a lot more. I do think iOS is more user-friendly. but you know, I'm a techie, so Android's always been more for me. But I see the appeal of Apple, and I recommend it to anybody who, you know, doesn't want to kind of fight their devices ever and doesn't want to spend much time on their devices. If that's the case, I would recommend Apple 100%. If you are intimidated by technology, I would tell you to go to or use Apple. I would not use Android just because it can be intimidating. I think that this is Jared on Twitch. What's up, Joe? Thanks for your service. Thanks so much, Jared. I appreciate you. And I'm glad you got a hold of us with your correct address so we can get you your Mevo start. LaserLess says, I stream memorial funeral services and many people in a small room. Would all the cell phones in the room interfere with the Wi-Fi signal? I mean, it could. Jared says, Apple stable, Android unstable. That's not true. Get out of here. I only use Android. So, I mean, if you're in a funeral service in a room and you're doing something, just run Ethernet. There's no reason to, like, it's a static setup, it sounds like. If anybody's ever in a static setup, just run Ethernet. There's no reason to risk running Wi-Fi. Especially if it's important, like a funeral service. You don't want to depend on Wi-Fi for something like that. It's just so risky. So risky. What else we have here? Let's see. Yeah, Brian says Team Android. I agree. I'm 100% Team Android. Laser says it's because of all the cables and tripping. So you have to understand, like, if you're mounting, there's many ways to hide your cable. You can use something like, let's see, gotta kind of Google it real quick because I can't remember what it's called. Gaffers tape. You can get a 2-inch 90 foot of gaffers tape on Amazon for $13. You can tape that directly to carpet or run your cable under the carpet, or run them in the rafters, or whatever suits you. There's many options that you can do. You don't have to just leave it out there as an exposed cable. With gaffers tape, people won't trip over that, or shouldn't unless they're dragging their feet. But you know, that's what I would recommend. I would just recommend, if it's a permanent setup, that you just run it through your ceiling or your walls or whatever it may be. It's going to save you a headache moving forward, and streaming's not going anywhere. More people are going to want streaming and recording more than anything else. Jared says, I was an Android believer back in the day, 10 plus years ago, after it crashed for the 5th time in a row. Yes. Rooted. Yes. Overclocked. Yes, I did all the bad things I said secure and went to Apple. That's fair. John says the YouTube stream is lagging quite a bit tonight. Is it really? Let's take a look. Any of my Mevo or Logitech people watching this who can comment on that? Because I have no idea. Looks pretty solid here. What do you mean lagging behind, John? Like, is it buffering, or is it just like behind as far as like content? Because the speed of which it encodes could be different. Okay, DJ Fuzz says perfect on his end. Great, wonderful. Jeff says, I'm having trouble with white balance. I have found I have to do something white in the frame to get true colors. Any suggestions? That is very strange. Thanks, Joseph, for letting me know it looks good on your end. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, that's very odd. I would open a ticket and provide some more information. I've not seen anything like that before, to be honest. John says, despite the SD card on Android, Mevo can't record to it. Yeah, no, I don't record to... I mean, you can. If you use Multicam, it records... Oh, well, yeah, you can't. Okay. Huh. Yeah. I don't know. I would never record on my mobile device, personally. But that's just me. I guess that defeats the purpose of multicam recording, though. Carl says it's good on YouTube. Oh, he's on Facebook, though. Laser says, talking to Jared, I did that also, but when I got Samsung's X6, it's been so happy. Yeah, my first Android was a Note 8. And then I just got the S21. The Note 8 lasted me from like 2017 to 2021. So 4 years. I mean, it still works great. I still use it for Mevo controls and stuff. But now I use the S21, and I'll go Android again. I might try to Google Pixels, because I've not had... Anyways, I know Nate, coworker, he's a big Google Pixel fan, but I see great things that they're doing over there. I'm very interested. but I won't go with the S21 series or S series again if it doesn't allow me using a micro SD card, or if it doesn't have a 3.5 input. Lady says, I have 2 iPad Pros for backup. I cannot stream on small phones. I want more screen. Yeah, I think that's pretty standard. I've got 4 monitors here. If you haven't seen my my setup in my home office, I've got 4 monitors, so I know all about the real estate. Jared says, I haven't had any issues on my 12 Pro iPhone. Yeah, no, it's a great product. I love the cameras on here. Androids just seem to be lacking in that department. I don't know. S21's a pretty good camera. We're not even talking about Mevo anymore. Come on, people. So when I need to catch a video, I do it much quicker recording on my phone's Androids. It's fair. John says, maybe the YouTube lag was just me switching to Facebook to see what was being said. Possibly, yeah. If you're trying to compare content delivery speeds, that's not like really important. As long as the feed isn't buffering or anything, platforms are going to publish content faster and encode them faster in different speeds than one another. They're not going to be equal. That'll never happen. David says, Carl, we have added an Eero Pro 6 mesh network dedicated for our live stream, and we do not give out the password. It's a great idea. We also used Eero Pro networks. Last Thursday, I streamed over, it wasn't Eero, it was a TP-Link mesh network. I installed at my sister's in Ohio, and because her network, she's got like a little space upstairs in her garage, and her network, it was either running an Ethernet cable or crossed outside, and I'm like, let's just run a mesh network from your living room to your garage. And I did that and streamed over that last week, Thursday, and it was great. David says, Carl, we have added, oh, wait, that's the same thing I just read. Gordon says, do you have any web pages that list compatible Android tablets? No, we do not. We do have, all we list now, we haven't had a list like that for years. I mean, there's still one that we tested back when Mevo 2.0 was still like, when it was before it was Mevo 2.0, we had a list. But now we just have a list or a web page that has the minimum requirements. Pretty good thing to just avoid Chromebooks. Avoid those. Avoid Amazon tablets, although people have rooted them or jailbroke them or whatever you want to call it, and have installed our app or our apps. We don't support it, so if something goes wrong, can't really help you with it because we don't test on those and we don't support those. So, but as long as it's like a traditional tablet, like I know like the Samsung S7s and 6s, and I don't know what all of they are, but A7s maybe, I don't remember. But those are pretty good. Yeah, S7 tab, Tyrone says, works great. Yes, I agree. Is there a way to stream to a private group on YouTube? I would like to stream to Patreon supporters. Absolutely, Leo. You can 100% create an event that's not published to anybody. You can share it via link and stream via RTMP to it. Is there a good spot to post Mevo tips, tricks, and hacks? Yes. No, that's the helpmevo.com. Go to the Mevo customer group on Facebook, and you can talk all Mevo things there. We even have individuals like Jason Hoffman who has shared 3D printing stuff to allow you to mount cold shoe stuff on there and all of that. Carl's telling David, thanks, we might look into it. Wired Ethernet is working great. No, 100%. I would absolutely stick with an Ethernet solution if that's what you've got. Don't go from Ethernet to mesh. Mesh is something I would recommend if you're stuck on Wi-Fi and you need to improve your Wi-Fi. Wonderful. Yeah, if you need to improve your Wi-Fi, go mesh. If you're using Ethernet, stay with Ethernet. You don't want to take a step backwards. Ethernet's always going to be better. And if it's not, then there's some serious networking issues going on. Yeah, I would definitely check those out. This is an interesting combination. So I was looking at the Gaff tape that I was recommending earlier about avoiding cables being ran under the floors and whatever. And for some reason, Amazon has Gaff tape bundled with batteries. Are we creating battery packs? I don't know why Amazon would do that. It seems kind of like an odd combination here. Very strange. Jerry says, Ergo Prosumer certified Ubiquity installer here. I did not know that, Jared. I wasn't, actually, I think you may have told me. You may have told me you had a networking background. Same. Laser says, do you think some stream drops? Oops. Ay. Oh, so Joseph's telling me that's for boom operators and sound recorders. Batteries are for the lavs. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because you can use gaff tape for like anything, right? But it does say product to AA batteries for reliable performance across or wide range of devices. But it does say it's specifically for film, music, and TV sets, stages, or a home use office. Yeah, gaff is for everything. That's why I thought it was interesting that they would include batteries with it. Like, I get it. Like, if they're assuming that you're using it with like a lav or something. Otherwise, it kind of throws me off. Let's see here. Do you think most streams drops are due to Wi-Fi? So Ethernet would solve most drops. Absolutely. If you were in support tickets, you would see that probably 98% of issues that are reported in a support ticket are due to networking issues. Almost, yeah, it's usually always network. If it's a legitimate issue, it's usually a network related issue. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I highly recommend people use Ethernet when possible. I think people think that they have great Wi-Fi until they're really trying to use the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi on web browsing and stuff is going to be just fine. Watching a YouTube video, all of those things, everything people typically do on a Wi-Fi network is download, not typically upload. And the last thing you want to deal with when you're uploading something is data is for like something to slip out and like packet drops, packet loss. And the next thing you know, you're seeing a drop, a disconnect, distortion. Yeah, almost everything you're going to recognize will be solved over Ethernet. People just think they have great Wi-Fi until they're truly trying to use their network source to their full power. David says, we connect that to our Wi-Fi router by cable, but that solution keeps others from joining the network and degrading the system, I'm assuming is what he's trying to say. Jared says, gaff tape doesn't work well for holding stuff on a trailer. Wi-Fi is like cellular networks. Your capacity is what matters, not your signal. Agreed. Absolutely. Yeah, not necessarily your signal. 100%. That was a common conversation, and I have a slideshow somewhere that talks about that. Do I have it on this phone? Or on this? I don't. That's disappointing. I actually have a slideshow that I used to do that discusses how many people, and radio noise or frequency noise and signal. People often think that they've got 5 bars and that means they're getting full strength Wi-Fi. And it's like, yeah, your strength's fine. Your speed is not. Your speed is not related to your, like the strength will be, good strength does not necessarily mean good speeds. So it's just very important to know. Running around with the 5 bars at a baseball field or anywhere does not necessarily mean you're getting the fastest network speed that you could possibly be getting from your cellular provider. And of course, yeah, capacity, which is why we recommend Mevo being on its own network instead of sharing resources. It'd eliminate a lot of issues. Wonderful. So it looks like we're about 56 minutes. Get your last questions in. I'm going to cover those, and I'm going to go over these one more time before we end the day. We do have live shows Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter at Mevo Camera, or not Twitter, and at Twitch at Mevo Camera. Come join us on all of those, and be sure to reference or refer users to the Mevo.com so they can purchase something, save them 5%, earn yourself 5% kickback, and yeah, may as well earn yourself some commission, right? Right? I think that's the way to go. Oh, I should have yawned before the... Yeah, should have did when the overlay was up. You guys would never have known. Jared says, go to a college campus during classes. Good luck doing anything on cellular. Yeah, no, 100%. I used to work for a college. I was a web developer for them. And their networks are horrible. What year did Mevo form and what's the background? Just curious. I think you're preparing for that December 16th. The December 16th question with a competition where people can win some products. What is that, foam on my floor? Yeah, it's foam from something. So Mevo was founded in 2016 under Livestream. And the whole, now I've heard Max Hyatt give this explanation many a time, so I like to think that I'm well I'm well prepared to tell you why Mevo was founded. So as you guys know, Mevo was originally founded by Livestream back in 2016. Livestream obviously is a platform similar to Vimeo, which is now owned by Vimeo. Vimeo now owns Livestream. And it was like a streaming platform, just like YouTube, Vimeo. And they also owned some software called Livestream Studio 6. Now, what they were noticing is that they were trying to help all of these people produce these live shows and long form content, but they noticed that the entry level was just too complicated. You need mixers, you need switchboards, you need giant cameras at that time that were just not affordable. They weren't easy. There was just a very, very steep learning curve. A lot of really big things went into play. So they developed the Mevo first generation camera. The Mevo first generation camera was discontinued in like 2017 or something. And then the Mevo Plus came out, and then the Mevo Plus came out and was discontinued like a year ago. And then the Mevo Start came out in 2020. But the whole background is literally trying to make the entry level for people to create long form content a lot more accessible. They want to make sure people can stream, which is perfect because now everyone's trying to stream. So it makes it the perfect product. And you can use it for many different things now. So, but the original reason was to lower the entry point for creating long form content and streaming content without tens of thousands of dollars worth of product to do it. Laser says, just want to thank you for providing the show. So glad to hear it. We're happy to do it. Jared says, I'm aware that Livestream was the originator. That's good. Well, not everyone knows that. Laser says, I wish all my items I use would have a live Q&A show. I wish that was a thing. It would be a lot more convenient. Now Jared's on Facebook, which is throwing me off. The bad thing is also having Wi-Fi available won't stop things like Pine. Oh, okay. Here we go. On DDoS. Yep. Now Jared's back on Twitch. I had a Gen 1 camera back in 2016. Yeah, I've got one. Right up here. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Gen 1 camera. Oh. There it is. So there's a Gen 1 camera there. And then I've got a Mevo Plus and Boost on this table. Can't see much of it because I got my dog bed behind me. But yeah, I've got my first gen still in plastic up there, just hanging out. And then the Mevo Boost and stuff. And then, of course, 3 packs up there. I've got the original concept product for the Mevo PoE, which is a little bit different than the one that actually went public. So I've got that. My house here has got the reputation of being the Mevo Museum, the Museum of Mevo. So I try to keep as much... Mevo product from the very beginning all the way until now, and now we've part of Logitech. So as you can see, I'm creating myself a little wall full of Logitech products, and I'll continue to collect all types of Mevo and Logitech stuff moving forward. And Jared says he collects tons of gaming consoles, so he gets it. Yeah. No, it's I didn't even own a first gen at the time. I obviously got this because it was like one of the last ones that we had in our warehouse. So I grabbed it. But of course, like any product from after Mevo Plus, anything, the Mevo PoE, the Start, I was there for all of that when it was being developed. So I have, some of the first and original packaging for the Mevo Start that was gray and not red. I've got some original packaging now it's changed again because now the Logitech's orange, Logi C orange. So I got all the original stuff and I always keep it. I'm the keeper of the museum. Absolutely, David. All right, everyone. Thank you all for coming in and tuning in and hanging out with me for an hour. We will be back on Thursday. I believe it's myself and Joseph again, maybe? Or is it just Will and me? Or let's take a look-see. I want to make sure I have it right. Would it be useful for you guys to see a schedule? Would you guys like to see who's going to be doing the shows? So you guys, I don't know. Do you have favorites? Don't tell me if you have favorites. I don't care. It's just mean. It's not nice to have favorites. But we do have, let's see, 11-9. Yeah, so it's supposed to be Will and I, the Council of Joes. I'll join regardless. Perfect. Yeah, I can share you guys a schedule that shows our giveaways and everything, if that's something you guys would all be interested in seeing. And it's all subject to change. It's not static. So, but I can absolutely do that. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry, Underdog, that we're leaving now. I'm sorry you're tuning in from South Africa. I'm happy to have you here, but we are ending things. If you didn't get all your questions answered, make sure you go to help.mevo.com. We'd be happy to answer any questions for you. If you have any issues, help.mevo.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those things. Make sure you're following us for the latest and greatest from Mevo and from LogC. I'm Joe Capehart, and until Thursday, I'll see you all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see, where's that overlay? There it is. See you, everyone. There it is. See you, everyone.